I'm Penny Baylor. I live downtown in Lafayette Park, and I've lived in the same house for 41 years. I'll never leave. I'm very passionate about Detroit, and my whole career here has been dedicated to youth and education. I spent 17 years as CEO of the Girl Scouts, which I'm very proud, and 14, I just retired last year, as executive director of City Year, which is like the Peace Corps in the city, and the young adults serve in the schools, tutoring and keeping kids on track for graduation. About in 1976, we first came here, I helped to start the Golightly Education Center, which was a magnificent K through 8. It was a partnership with Wayne State University. Arthur Jefferson was the superintendent at the time. My daughter was in the first grade and the first eighth grade, my son also, and they had a magnificent education, and I was just so proud. And that got me interested in the school board. In 1988, after the Hope team ran, they also had children, some of them at Golightly, and they said, you know, you really ought to run in 1990. So I did. I was elected, and I served very proudly when Deborah McGriff was our superintendent. And stability is one of the key things I want to be sure we return to the schools. When you have a transfer, a change in your CEO or your executive director or your superintendent every 18 months, it's chaos. And I counted 11 superintendents in 18 years. And it seems that every time we would get someone, they'd come in, they'd bring in their own team, they would want to have their own curriculum and their own new books, and they'd get all that in there, and then poof, they'd be gone. And this happened over and over and over again. And at the same time, the population was declining throughout Detroit for all the same reasons that the city ended up in bankruptcy. So this was like a perfect storm, and now we have a chance to recover. So that's why I want to run. I think we have a wonderful opportunity with a new district without debt. And we have 7 seats citywide, so people hopefully who will really represent the entire city and really do what is best for children. This is about children. It's not about adults. It's not about systems. It's not about institutions. It's about what happens. And my final comment would be this. It really doesn't matter what our mayor does, even though I'm very excited about almost everything he's doing. And it really doesn't matter what Dan Gilbert and all those very generous, philanthropy-minded billionaires are. Because if we don't transform our schools, the city is lost. We cannot let that happen. It's immoral, it's criminal, and I won't stand for it. So I decided I had to run. I absolutely would oppose that. It's not fair. We have a new district and a new board, and we'll have I don't know if it'll be a new superintendent, we'll have a great superintendent, I hope the greatest ever. And those schools need the 3 years that were promised to them to turn things around. These are children that are in those schools. These children had nothing to do with all this. And those legislators wouldn't do this to their own children. It's not fair, and I would fight to make sure that we had the opportunity to help those schools improve.